Hello and welcome. I'm Chelsea and I'd like to guide you through this slow but strong vinyasa practice. And I'd like for us to have this underlying intention of self-compassion. So we'll begin in a comfortable seat. If you have a block or a bolster or a blanket, just propping yourself up there on a little bit of height and settling into a posture that feels relaxed and open, closing down the eyes. Just feeling that sense of grounding through the sitting bones and lifting up tall through the spine. So moving inner. And just noticing, observing what's happening in this body mind. It's really settling into this sacred pause. So I'd like for us to have this theme, this underlying intention of self-compassion. So if you're really honest with yourself, what's the quality of your internal dialogue? Just on a daily basis. So I think most of us, it can get a little bit critical at times, and a yoga practice can really show us how we treat ourselves. So do you push? Do you compare? Do you judge what your body's doing? And let's see if we can find a little bit of kindness, a little bit of compassion for ourselves. So if you're comfortable there, just gently placing the hands over the heart space. So just there in the center of the chest. Just one hand on top of the other. May you be held in compassion. May you be held in compassion. So it is helpful to remember that this is a practice. So some days we do it and it feels really natural. We feel loving and open and connected. And then other days it just feels forced or mechanical. We're just not feeling it. So whatever is arising, it's okay. Certainly don't want to judge yourself here. Not trying to be perfect. We're just strengthening this practice of self-compassion, and it can actually transform the way that we live in the world. So either keeping the hands there over the heart, or you may like to bring them to Anjali Mudra with the palms together, and we'll chant the mantra Om just one time. Exhale, taking a clearing breath out. Deep, full, slow breath in as you prepare. You can allow the eyes to open. We'll make our way into an extended child's pose. So bringing the big toes together, and just pop any props off to the side, taking the knees wide and then walking the hands all the way forward. So literally bowing down here to the earth beneath you, resting the forehead on the earth, sinking the hips back towards the heels. So in order to practice self-compassion, we need to be mindful. So the mindfulness really helps us to check in and just observe when we might be struggling or having a bit of a hard time. Then we can practice finding some support for ourselves in those moments rather than trying to push anything away. Beginning to dive into your Ujjayi breath, slow, steady, rhythmic inhalations and exhalations. In through the nose, out through the nose. easing your way up onto all fours, coming into a tabletop pose there. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You may even like to close down the eyes here and just starting to move and breathe and stretch in any way that feels good. So you might like to come into some traditional cat and cows. You may like to come into a few wrist releases here. Just whatever your body is wanting or craving in this moment, just to ease your way into the body. Just being guided from that inner feeling, inner experience. And just flushing yourself with fresh, new energy and life force. And just starting to wind things down, just easing your way back to a nice neutral spine there. We'll prepare for our first downward facing dog of the practice. So just when you feel ready, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, peeling the hips up and back. So spending a few moments here, just exploring what's happening in the body. So I think most of us have a little ritual that we like to move into in our first down dog. So checking in, just checking more and more in with each and every breath. And just sending some healing life forces to those places that might feel a little bit stuck or tight. And then finding stillness. Setting your drishti, your gaze, soft steady gaze towards the back of the mat. Plugging the hands into the earth. Wrapping the triceps back. And just sending the energy of the sitting bones towards the back of the room. And then taking a few steps, walking all the way to the top of the mat. We'll come into Uttanasana there. So finding your Uttanasana feet can be together or hip distance apart. Breathing in, take a halfway lift, lengthening through the spine, lifting the chest. And then exhale as you bow down, touching the earth. And again, breathing in, filling the lungs. Halfway lift, chest moves forward, pelvis moves back. Exhale as you bow. It's taking one more just like that, breathing into your Ardha Uttanasana. So a little squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Exhale as you bow down. And just taking a few breaths to round up, roll up to stand. Stacking the spine there, vertebra by vertebra. Raising the arms up and over the head. Draw the palms together. Exhale as you float the hands down through the midline, Samastitihi. Let's move into a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. Deep breath in, raising the arms, Urdhva Hasta. Draw the palms together, feel them touch. Exhale, diving forward, touching the earth beneath you, Uttanasana. Breathing in, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, lifting the chest. Exhale, planting the hands, and we'll just step back to a high plank. So moving through this first round slowly with control, pressing the earth away, doming the upper back. Legs engaged, breathing in. Exhale, we'll all lower the knees to the earth for the first round, untucking the feet. Chest moves forward as you lower halfway down. Ardha Chaturanga, elbows hugged in towards the midline, keeping the natural curves of the spine. Breathing in as you lower the pelvis, lifting the chest. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So we'll linger here for a couple of breaths. Broadening through the chest. Just keeping the neck long. So you might like to gaze down, just keeping the neck as an extension of the spine. Exhale as you make your way back to downward facing dog. Your transition there, you can lift up through chaturanga and plank or through your child's pose. Easing your way back, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose, staying attuned to that sweet, steady rhythm of your Ujjayi breath.
Just letting the breath be the doorway into this moving meditation. Breathing in as you bend the knees, coming up onto the balls of the feet, and exhale as you make your way to the top of the mat, stepping, or you can lightly jump forward, breathing in halfway lift. Exhale as you fold, bowing down. Breathing in, rounding up, rolling up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, drawing in that energy, that life force. Exhale, Samasthiti. And again, breathing in, just allowing the breath to guide the body. Exhale, diving forward, touching the earth, Uttanasana. Breathing in, take a halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, come straight into Chaturanga, planting the hands, stepping or lightly jumping back, lowering down, all on the exhalation. So pausing in your Chaturanga, in that natural pause between the breaths. Inhale as you lift up, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, hips up and back, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. So pressing the palms into the earth. Feel a drawing up through the center of the palms, all the way up the arm bones, all the way along the spine. And breathing in as you bend the knees, coming up onto the balls of the feet, gazing forward, your transition to the top of the mat. Breathing in halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Dropping the head there, breathing in, rounding up, rolling up to stand, Urdhva Hasta. Exhale, Samasthiti. So prepare for chair pose. So you may like to bring the big toes together or taking the feet hip distance apart, breathing in to your Utkatasana. So feeling the feet on the earth here, pressing down through the heels, lengthening through the spine. So just maintaining the natural curves of the spine here. Then lowering the arms about shoulder height, crossing the right arm on top of the left, wrapping the forearms, and either bringing the palms together or taking hold of wherever you can reach into your Garudasana arms. So take the weight of the body to the right foot, lifting up the left thigh, crossing it over the right, coming into your expression of eagle legs there. So you can wrap the thighs, or you can go in for a double wrap, wrapping the foot all the way around the shin. So make sure you're maintaining the steadiness of the breath, not pushing or forcing the body. And then as gently as you can, we'll unravel and step back to a warrior one. So landing that left foot towards the back of the mat. So warrior one does not need to be a long stance. You want to keep that back foot connected to the earth. So toes turned in, about 10 or 11 o'clock there. So breathing in, breathing out, we'll open out into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So you may like to adjust your stance there, lengthening your stance as needed. And stretching the thighs apart, lifting up tall through the spine. Soft, steady gaze. So this whole practice becomes this moving meditation. Breathing in as you turn the right palm towards the sky, reversing your warrior, sweeping the right arm up and over the body. So take a few deep breaths into the side body, creating space. Exhale, side angle pose. We'll begin by taking the right forearm to the center of the right thigh, extending the left arm straight up towards the sky. We'll go in for a half bind, wrapping that left hand behind the back, and it might rest there on the lower back or seeking out for the right inner thigh. So last couple of breaths here. If you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can take the right hand down towards the earth. Keeping that opening there through the torso. So rotating the ribs, the heart, the lungs towards the sky. Breathing in as you rise back up to your Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale as you windmill the hands all the way down to the earth, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. So your journey back If you're craving a little moment in child's pose, this is a nice opportunity as well, just to check back in, keeping that intention close. So breathing in that compassion, strength, nurturance. Breathing out, just letting the body, mind settle a little more deeply into this moment. And breathing in as you bend the knees, coming up onto the balls of the feet, gazing forward, your journey to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold and bow. Breathing in, rounding up, rolling up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Draw the palms together, feel them touch. Exhale, floating the hands down, Samastitihi. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, let's find that eagle wrap, left arm on top of the right. Just finding your shape there. Lifting the elbows, lifting the chest, taking the weight of the body to that left foot, picking up the right thigh, and just finding your shape there with the legs. Any knee issues? I forgot to mention this on the other side. You might like to take the right ankle to the left thigh, coming into more of an open eagle shape. So all four corners of that left foot anchoring down into the earth. And then slow motion, let's step it back, Virabhadrasana 1. Landing that right foot towards the back of the mat. Lunging down, we'll plug that left hip back. Tailbone lengthens down, reaching up tall through the spine. Exhale as you open it out into your second warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. And settling in there. So once you feel steady and stable, diving into the breath, filling yourself with breath and energy. Inhale as you reverse, turning the left palm towards the sky, sweeping the left arm up and over the body. So keeping that lunge there of warrior 2 in the lower body. Deep breath in, exhale, extended side angle pose. Again, we'll bring the center of the left, bring the left forearm to the center of the thigh, wrapping the right hand behind you, seeking out your bind. And just taking a few breaths to explore this shape here. So continue to firm down through the feet, pressing down through the outer edge of that back foot so the arch is ignited there, not collapsing into the arch. Keeping the left hip firming in. Inhale as you rise back up to your Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale as you windmill the hands all the way down to the earth, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. So whatever is calling, it's being guided from within. And we'll lower the knees to the earth here, either coming into child's pose, or you might prefer a comfortable seat or a moment on the back of the body. So it is nice to move through a strong vinyasa practice like this, but take our time to really check in along the way. So renewing that intention. And the word compassion actually means to suffer with. So it can be nice to just remember that we're never alone. We all go through hard times. It's all part of this human experience. And just finding a little bit of kindness for yourself through this practice. Take the last few nurturing breaths here. Just imagine or feel that you're drawing in prana and life force to every cell in your body. And then slowly let's make our way back to downward facing dog. Just taking that inner listening with you as we begin to move the body again. Breathing in as you raise the right leg towards the sky, single leg down dog. Exhale as you step all the way through into a low lunge. And we'll frame the front foot with both hands, starting to soften the hips down towards the earth. And please feel free to pause at any stage as I talk you through this next asana here. So option just to stay where you are. You may like to begin to walk the hands forward. So keeping a nice long spine, right hip crease drawing back. So you lengthen through the spine. And then walking the hands back, both hands to the inside of the front foot. We'll start to walk the hands out to the sides of the body. So shimmy the right shoulder underneath the right thigh. Just extending the arms out to the sides. Option to stay or play with a bit of balance, maybe hovering the hands off the earth. If you'd like to come in for a bind here, turn the palms towards the sky, wrapping the hands behind the back. And the right hand can take hold of the left wrist or the fingertips. So just being okay with whatever your shape looks like, just feeling things out, feeling that inner experience. And then releasing the hands, framing the front foot with both hands. We'll step the back foot in a few feet, coming into a Parsvottanasana stance, pyramid pose. Firming down through the feet, we'll come up to stand. So breathing in, coming up to a flat back position, hands to the hips. Exhaling here and then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Just readjust as needed so the hips are pretty square to the front of the room. Taking the arms out to shoulder height, breathing in, breathing out. We'll bind the hands behind the back, either coming into a reverse prayer position, or you may like to just clasp the hands, squeeze the heel of the hands together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhaling here, exhale as you begin to hinge from the hips, folding forward. So keeping a nice long spine. A nice firm connection there through both feet. A little micro bend on that front leg. And then slowly lifting back up to a flat back position here. We'll take the weight of the body to the right foot, lifting up into a Virabhadrasana 3, a warrior 3. So extending that left leg behind you, just embracing the little bit of wobble and natural instability here. Finding that kindness and compassion, whatever's arising. And then with control, we'll bring both hands to the earth, coming into standing splits. So feel free to explore any shapes here. Sometimes I like to take the right hand to the right ankle, finding a bit of support there, dropping the head, firming the right hip in as I lift the left leg towards the sky. And then exhale as you release that left foot down, Uttanasana. Breathing in, take a halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Just give yourself a moment there to hang, to drop the head. If the body needs a little bit of movement, feel free to gently sway from side to side. And breathing in, halfway lift. Exhale as you make your way back to downward facing dog. So feel free to flow through a vinyasa or just stepping back. So checking back in here, feel the difference between the two sides. So recentering, reconnecting. Keeping that intention close, just strengthening that practice of self-compassion. Breathing in as you raise the left leg towards the sky, single leg down dog. Exhale as you step all the way through into your low lunge. So starting to soften the hips down towards the earth. Again, you can stay or walk the hands forward. So lengthening through the spine. And we'll keep that front foot pointing straight ahead, knee tracking in the same direction. And it's not easy to practice in this way. These longer holds can bring up a lot of things. Fatigue, emotion. Just notice what's arising and then walking the hands all the way back. We'll take the arms out to the sides of the body, shimmering that left arm underneath the thigh, arms out to the sides of the body. So again, just pausing any stage, option to come in for a little balance or taking the hands behind the back, finding your bind there, keeping that length through the spine. And breathe. So never restrict the breath just to make these shapes in the body. Breath is our focus. And then releasing the hands. We'll prepare for our pyramid pose. So stepping the right foot in a few feet, just a short stance. Firming down through the feet, legs are active, cores engaged, breathing in, coming up halfway to a flat back position there. Exhaling and breathing in as you lift all the way back up to stand, readjusting as needed, breathing in, taking the arms out to shoulder height. Exhale as you find your bind behind the back. So either your reverse namaste or clasping the hands. Inhale, exhale as you begin to fold forward. So keeping a nice long spine, whole body alive and engaged, supporting you here. Legs are active, feeling the sensations in the body. And then slowly lifting back up to that flat back position. We'll prepare for our warrior three. Weight of the body to that left foot, raising the right leg behind you, just to hip height, really extending back through the heel, forward through the crown of the head. Finding some support in your breath. And then with control, both hands to the earth, standing splits. So it doesn't matter how high you lift the right legs, firming the left hip in and lifting that right leg from the inner thigh and the glute. The spine is long. Exhale, folding forward there at the top of the mat. So bringing the feet hip distance apart this time, breathing in, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. And we'll take the right hand just out in front, right underneath the face, bringing a bend to the right knee as you raise the left arm towards the sky, peeling open into a spinal twist. So mindfully gazing up towards the left fingertips, breathing deeply and fully. Exhale as you lower the left hand down, placing it in the center, bending the left knee as you raise the right arm towards the sky, opening up here. Slowing down the breath, feeling that expansion and contraction of the rib cage as you breathe. Exhale as you lower the right hand all the way back down to the earth. You can heel toe the feet back together. Breathing in, take a halfway lift. Exhale your journey back to down dog. So you can move through your flow or just stepping mindfully back. Staying attuned to what you need in each moment. And exhale, lowering the knees to the earth, coming back, child's pose. Another moment just to be still. Lengthening through the spine, hips sinking back towards the heels. And then walking the hands in, and we'll come to take a seat from here. So we'll meet up in Dandasana, extending the legs out in front of you. So this is a nice time to prop yourself up on some height. If you have a blanket handy, you might benefit from just propping yourself up on a little bit of height there. We'll come into Marichyasana A. If you have a strap, that might be handy also for this next posture here. So bending the right leg, placing the sole of the foot onto the earth. So the heel just in line with the right sitting bone rather than being right in close towards the body. Give yourself some space. Raising the right arm towards the sky as you inhale. Exhale as you start to fold forward. So just take note, if the shoulder comes past the knee, you can go in for a bind. If not, just relaxing both hands down, and this is your shape here. So if you're going in for the bind, turn the right palm to face away, thumb pointing down, then wrapping the arm all the way around the right shin. Left arm will come out to the side, thumb pointing down, bending the arm, taking the hand behind the back, and the right hand will take hold of the left wrist or the fingertips, or this is where your strap might come in handy. So breathing in as you lengthen through the spine, exhale as you begin to gently fold forward. So this can feel a little awkward, just breathing into any awkwardness or intensity here. Maybe you can feel yourself soften a little bit with every exhalation. So again, not concerned what your shape looks like on the outside or how deeply you're moving into it. You're just really connecting, feeling what's happening. And then breathing in as you start to release, lifting back up, releasing your bind, releasing the legs. We'll come back through our Dandasana, give the legs a little shake. Moving on to the second side, bending the left leg, sole of the foot to the earth, heel in line with that left sitting bone. Breathing in as you raise the left arm towards the sky. Exhale, folding forward. So again, you can choose to pause here or taking your bind, wrapping that left arm around the left shin. Right arm comes out to the side, then taking it behind the back. Breathing in to lengthen. Exhale as you ease your way forward. Breathing in, finding length. Exhale as you soften. So just staying attuned to the rhythm and flow of the breath. Always waiting for that invitation to go a little deeper rather than trying to force the body. And then slowly easing your way back to the center. So we'll come back into Dandasana, preparing for a nice deep spinal twist here, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Bending the right leg. This time we'll take the sole of the foot to the outer left leg. So you can pause here or bending the bottom leg, taking the heel to the outer right hip. Just making sure the knees, the hips all feel comfortable, getting heavy through the sitting bones. Taking the right finger pads behind you, breathing in as you raise the left arm towards the sky. Exhale as you twist to your right. So every inhalation, finding length through the spine. If you have any other variations here, you may like to take the arm to the outer thigh. You might even like to come in for a half bind there or a full bind. The right hand behind the back. And the shoulders relaxing down the back, face is soft. Breath flowing freely there. And then exhale as you release. Coming back to the center, it's very thoughtfully releasing the legs. We'll come onto the second side, bending the left leg, sole of the foot to the outer right leg. And just finding your foundation there. So you want to keep that left foot in contact with the earth. Breathing in, left finger pads behind you, raising the right arm. Exhale as you twist. So getting heavy through those points of contact with the earth as you lift up tall through the spine. So you want to maintain the nice natural curves of the spine here rather than letting things round. Just allowing that prana, that energy, that life force to travel freely through the body. And then exhale as you release. Releasing the spine, releasing the legs. We'll come back into Dandasana. If you have your block handy, you might like to use your block for the next one. So we'll come into Kramasana, tortoise pose, or a variation of. So bending the legs, taking the soles of the feet just out in front of you. So you create a diamond shape. So this is where you might like to bring your block. So finding your foundation here. If there's any lower back issues, just keeping a nice long spine as you fold forward. Otherwise, if it feels appropriate, you can just let the spine round and start to lower the head down towards your block. So finding somewhere you can settle in, don't be too attached to getting the head to the block. Closing down the eyes and taking your awareness within. So this is a nice representation of that pratyahara, that withdrawal of the senses. We're starting to really slow down here. And actually, when we practice self-compassion, we're tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxation mode. So we're stepping out of the stress response into this relaxation response. And just strengthening the body's natural capacity to heal. Just enjoying the slowing down after the movement and the intensity. And just dropping in a little deeper with each and every breath. And then beginning to release. So rounding up, rolling up, and we'll make our way onto the back of the body. So once you arrive there on the back of the body, coming into any final finishing asanas. So you may like a happy baby. You may like to come into a gentle inversion. So this is your practice, just taking whatever you need to really support you, whatever's happening in your day or your life at the moment, it's taking what you need to support you. So another part of this practice of self-compassion is really tuning into that inner wisdom and asking ourselves what we need in each moment. Sometimes it means taking action, like committing to our yoga practice, but it's coming from this place of self-love and support rather than a place of feeling like we're not enough or feeling like we need something else to improve. So last few moments here. And then go on and settle in to Shavasana on the back of your body. And we'll work with a little self-compassion practice here. So propping yourself up as needed. It's nice to take a bolster underneath the knees, maybe a blanket over the body. It's a nice little signal for the nervous system to calm down. So take a few moments to settle in. Making your final movements, closing down the eyes, and just take a few slow, deep breaths to settle in, breathing in through the nose, and breathing out of the mouth. Let it be an audible sigh. So breathing in that strength, that nurturance, compassion. Breathing out as you settle a little more deeply into this moment. You can let go of controlling the breath now and just allowing the breath to be. And I'd like to offer a little silent mantra just to help you to connect to that practice of self-compassion. And the mantra is, may I be well. May I be well. So if that doesn't really resonate with you, feel free to choose something else, just something that feels comfortable for you, and really dropping into that, finding your rhythm and pace. Just connecting to that simple intention to be well, to not be hurting. Just noticing any emotions or any feelings that arise. So maybe you feel a little more calm and spacious. Maybe it feels really awkward and uncomfortable. So whatever is arising is okay. The most important thing is just to connect to this intention to be well. May I be well. May we all be well. It's recognizing our shared human condition. May we all be well. And you can begin to let go of the mantra, coming back to the awareness of your breath, deepening the breath. And starting to bring a little bit of movement back into the body. Moving the fingers, the toes. When you feel ready, you can take a big stretch. Stretching the arms all the way up and over the head, stretching from end to end. Then bending the knees, rolling yourself over to one side of the body. And just pausing there on the side of the body as you just take a last few nurturing, nourishing breaths there. And when you feel ready, keeping the eyes closed and making your way back up to your comfortable upright seat. Drawing the palms into Anjali Mudra at the heart space and doing your best to take this practice of self-compassion back out there into your life. So self-compassion actually strengthens us when things are challenging. Being overly critical and beating ourselves up actually weakens us. So self-compassion is just a great way to bring some support in those challenging moments, or any moment is a great time. So thank you for the practice. Let's seal it in with the mantra Om together. Exhale as you empty the breath, empty the lungs. Slow, deep breath filling up. Bowing the head to your heart, your inner teacher. Namaste.